Cabinet Secretary Carlo Nograles, DOLE Secretary Silvestre Bello III at DTI Secretary Ramon Lopez. Gabsec Nograles.
Magandang gabi po sa ating lahat, sa ating pong mga kababayan, sa mga kasamahan ko sa kabinete, Secretary Bello at Secretary Lopez, sa mga kaibigan natin sa media, sa ating pong lahat. Pasensya na po at inabot po tayo ng ganitong oras bago namin kayo makaharap. Hindi po tumitigil ang inyong gobyerno para plantsahin ang lahat ng gusot at sa totoo lang, hindi naman po kaya ito ng isang pasada lamang. Pero magtiwala po kayo, kaming inyong mga lingkod bayan ay hindi titigil hanggat may problema na kailangan hanapan ng solusyon. Marami sa inyo ay pagod na, puyat pa, lahat po tayo. Lahat po tayo may alay na sakripisyo, pero matatapos din po ang lahat ng ito basta sama-sama nating paglaban ang kalamidad na ito. Muli, ipagpaumanhin po ninyo, ngayon ito po ang produkto ng kayod ng inyong Interagency Task Force. The following are the operational guidelines approved by the Interagency Task Force in affirmation of the memorandum from the Executive Secretary concerning the implementation of the enhanced community quarantine over the entirety of Luzon. Number 1, all government agencies in the executive branch are hereby directed to issue accreditation orders to identify their respective skeletal workforces for critical services operating during the duration of the enhanced community quarantine in Luzon. Bona fide IDs issued by the respective agencies shall be sufficient for movement around the contained area until such time that such accreditation orders have been issued by the agency concerned. Skeletal workforces may use official agency vehicles. Number 2, agencies with jurisdiction over those exempted from strict home quarantine requirements are likewise tasked to issue official interagency task force accreditation IDs. The Presidential Communications Operations Office, or PCOO, shall be tasked to design the official seal and template of the IATF accreditation IDs issued by government. The period for the issuance of IATF accreditation IDs shall be until March 21, 2020. Bona fide IDs issued by establishments exempted from strict home quarantine requirements shall be honored by law enforcement agencies until March 21, 2020. Number 3, the following among others shall be considered health and emergency frontline workers. Letter A, public health workers, meaning all employees of the Department of Health, DOH hospitals, hospitals of local government units, and provincial, city, and rural health units. Letter B, private health workers, such as but not limited to medical professionals, hospital administrative staff, and aides from private health facilities, as well as their service providers. And letter C, health workers and volunteers of the Philippine Red Cross and the World Health Organization. The Department of Transportation, in cooperation with local government units and upon consultation with the Department of Health, shall develop a system of point-to-point transport services for all the aforementioned health workers. Number 4, the Philippine National Police is instructed to allow the unimpeded movement of all types of cargoes, subject to its authority to conduct inspection procedures in checkpoints for the purpose of ensuring that protocols on strict home quarantine are observed. For this purpose, Memorandum Circular Number 7 issued on March 17, 2020 by the Department of Agriculture is hereby adopted. Number 5, capital markets, including but not limited to the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, Securities and Exchange Commission, Philippine Stock Exchange, Philippine Dealing and Exchange Corporation, Philippine Securities Settlement Corporation, and Philippine Depository and Trust Corporation shall be allowed to operate effective March 18, 2020, subject to the qualification of establishing skeletal workforces in their respective establishments. Number 6, the Department of Labor and Employment is hereby authorized to accredit a skeletal staff for the purpose of facilitating the conduct of the Tulong Panghanapbuhay sa Ating Disadvantaged Displaced Workers or TUPAD program. Number 7, the Overseas Workers Welfare Administration shall provide transportation services for returning overseas Filipino workers or OFWs for the purpose of ferrying them from international ports to their respective destinations in Luzon. Number 8, a separate IATF technical working group composed of the Department of Social Welfare and Development acting as chair, Department of Budget and Management, Department of Finance, Department of Labor and Employment, and the Office of the President is hereby directed to meet for the purpose of operationalizing the social amelioration program of government. Number 9, the provisional period of 72 hours granted to media personnel to continue operating in Luzon is hereby extended until March 21, 2020. Thereafter, only those who bear the IATF accreditation ID as issued by the PCOO may be exempted from the strict home quarantine requirement. Number 10, business process outsourcing or BPO establishments and export-oriented businesses are hereby granted a period of 24 hours from the issuance of this resolution to facilitate their work-from-home arrangements. And 11, delivery services, whether in-house or outsourced, transporting food, medicine, or other basic necessities shall be allowed to operate during the period of enhanced community quarantine. Letter B, the following amendments and or modifications, letter B, number 1, OFWs, balikbayans, and foreign nationals leaving for abroad through any of the ports in Luzon shall be allowed to leave the Philippines at any time for the duration of the enhanced community quarantine, provided that proof of international travel itinerary scheduled within 24 hours must be presented. Provided further that non-essential travel by Filipinos from any port of Luzon shall be suspended. Provided further that this provision shall not be interpreted to allow outbound travel by Filipinos to jurisdictions where travel restrictions are in place. Provided further that departing passengers may only be accompanied by not more than one person when traveling to any international port. Provided further that OWA may provide transportation services to OFWs intending to leave for abroad. Provided finally that all of the foregoing shall be subject to joint guidelines to be issued by the Department of Foreign Affairs, Department of Labor and Employment, and the Department of Tourism. Number 2, heads of missions or their designated foreign mission representatives, including limited foreign mission personnel and staff, may be exempted from the strict home quarantine requirement whenever performing diplomatic functions, subject to guidelines to be issued by the Department of Foreign Affairs, provided that protocols on the establishment of skeletal workforces shall be observed. Number 3, no hotels or similar establishments shall be allowed to operate except those accommodating A, guests who have existing booking accommodations for foreigners as of March 17, 2020. B, guests who have existing long-term leases. And C, employees from exempted establishments under the provisions of the March 16, 2020 Memorandum from the Executive Secretary and subsequent modifications and clarifications, provided that in subparagraphs 3A and 3B, no new booking accommodations shall be permitted. Provided further that in all of the foregoing, hotel operations shall be limited to the provision of basic lodging to guests. And number 4, Philippine offshore gaming operators shall not be included among those establishments allowed to operate for the duration of the enhanced community quarantine. Letter C, the Metro Manila Development Authority and the Office of the Presidential Advisor on the Peace Process shall be considered ex officio members of the IATF. Letter D, the response clusters of the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council for COVID-19 at the national, regional, and local levels shall be convened. All councils are directed to implement preventive, preparatory, responsive, and early recovery measures in anticipation of the worst-case scenario insofar as the COVID-19 health event is concerned. The Rehabilitation and Recovery Cluster of the NDRRMC is likewise directed to develop a resiliency and recovery plan. And finally, the Interagency Task Force for the Management of Emerging Infectious Diseases in the Philippines shall establish and operate an Emergency Operations Center at the National Disaster Risk Reduction Management Council's Operations Center at Camp Aguinaldo, Quezon City. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you so much, Cabsec Nograles. We would like to acknowledge the presence of PNP Chief General Archie Gamboa. Questions, MPC? Tina Mendez.
So, sir, this will be all of this will be implemented on March 21, right?
No, all of this today.
Meaning, on today.
Today.
So wala yung window period given sa mga exemptions sa pagkuha ng mga list for members of skeletal forces. Yung pag-comply doon, sir.
Yes.
March 21.
Yeah. So kung ano yung dates na binasa ko, when we said na yung IDs po, no? Dapat by March 21. In the meantime, yung bona fide IDs will be accepted by our law enforcers.
Isingit ko lang yung iba nating phone-in questions. Sir, from Abante, is manufacturing of basic hygiene goods like laundry detergent, diapers, dishwashing soap allowed to continue? These are needed in home quarantine.
Secretary Lopez.
We are limiting basically the manufacturing to the basic talaga food, medicine, and the disinfectants. Kung mapasok doon, like yung mga disinfectants na mga alcohol, mga Clorox type.
Bonafide.
Yan, pwede po yan. Pero kung yung mga iba pong hygiene products, soap, hindi na ho muna. Dahil we would believe that there would be enough inventory of this. 1 month lang naman itong ating ano. Otherwise kasi, we're also avoiding na maraming open na manufacturing facility. We were able to get already some concession na yung pinaka-basic na lang ang buksan. But remember, ang pinaka-overall objective natin, yung limit, yung paglabas ng tao, limit ang paglabas ng ating mga kababayan para hindi talaga kumalat yung sakit na ito.
And sir, another from Abante. I think this is for Cabsec Nograles. State of calamity is for 6 months, but is the price freeze only for 60 days?
Yeah.
Ayan,
If I may,
kay-
yeah, correct.
Parehas pa.
Oo. Sorry, yung state of calamity.
Is
Hindi,
for 6 months.
oo, so we will just renew the state of calamity kasi nasa batas 60 days lang yung calamity.
I know, sir.
Sorry, yung price
Price
freeze.
freeze. Yes.
60 days lang. So we will just renew it kasi pagka state of calamity naman, naka-price freeze talaga.
Opo. And sir, last na from Abante. Movement and manufacturing of certain goods, cargo, and workers allowed. Are they subject to LGU's own curfew hours? Or can they continue on as part of skeletal workforce?
Yung curfew hours natin superseded na by this
State of
enhanced community quarantine. So yung curfew hours, basically ano na to? Ito na yung all of the operationalization of the enhanced community quarantine based on our guidelines and the resolutions ng IATF will prevail.
Ito ho, if I may just elaborate also, Capsec, we discuss also para to avoid confusion, kaya po nag-declare ng isang state of calamity ang ating Pangulo and having a national declaration. Ito na po ang overall policy natin, kaya pag sinabi po, for example, yung cargo unimpeded, unhampered, pagkagaling siya sa ibang probinsya, kahit may quarantine or lockdown doon, dapat unimpeded pa rin. Kasi nakaabot sa amin yung mga balita na pag naka-quarantine yung declaration ng isang probinsya, hindi na makalabas yung goods, mga padadalin sa Manila, for example, let's say ito yung mga inputs or raw material or agriculture products na ipaprocess. Hindi na pinapalabas doon, hindi nakakarating dito. So, na-hamper yung flow of goods. So, napaka-importante, isang polisiya lamang at lalo na sa cargo, sabi ho kanina ni Capsec, na wala nang pipigil dapat sa cargo and ganun po ang usapan din with the military and the PNP at yun po no, may mabilis na inspection, ihiwalay nila yung lane at yun na nga po, pwedeng magra-random checking na rin kasi para mabilis ang flow niyan.
And sir, another question lang po. Phone-in question from J. Mark Dagala of DWIZ. I think this is for PNP Chief Gamboa. Papatanong ko lang po sana kung may magpo-provide pa ba ng supply ng alcohol sa mga police na nakadeploy sa mga quarantine checkpoints. May 2 incidents na kasi akong nakasabay na police within Metro Manila din na nagpupunta sa convenience store para maghanap ng alcohol pero dahil laging out of stocks, wala silang mabili.
Yes, the Philippine National Police is trying its best, no. But really, problem is the procurement. We have the resources. Ang problema, walang supply. But as of today, we have received donations coming from the different sectors of society, and we'll make use of what we have as of today.
Okay. Next question, Joyce.
Sir, just to clarify, so lahat ng nabanggit ninyo hindi na ito kailangan ng personal approval ni President Duterte. It is effective as you already announced it.
May approval na
May
po.
From
approval.
letter B.
Okay.
Merong, yan ano ko ha, yung lahat ng binasa ko, naka-divide kasi ito, those that are just the operational guidelines, nung guidelines na inilabas natin kahapon. And then those na for approval ni Pangulo ay inapprove na rin po. So, kaya ganun yung division ng ating announcements.
Alright, just to clarify din po, kasi isa rin sa mga naging news kanina yung may nanghaharang sa NLEX. So, after ninyong banggitin na dapat hindi na nakaharang, so matatanggal na to yung mga barriers palabas and papasok ng NLEX.
Paanong barriers? Nangharang ng cargo or ng...
So, nanghaharang ng cargos.
Yung cargo, okay na napag-usapan na namin with the task force, kasama yung ating mga law enforcers. Pati ang DILG kasama rin po.
Nitong madaling araw po pumunta si President Duterte sa isang checkpoint sa MacArthur Highway and I think he observed na grabe daw po yung pila ng mga trucks, matagal yung screening. So yun din po ba na-address na natin how to make it faster para hindi nag-jump pack to yung mga...
Pag-usapan na rin namin sa task force together with our law enforcers paano mapabilis, no? At syempre yung kanilang yung checkpoints ano naman up to the discretion na ng PNP hierarchy kung saan din nila ilagay ang checkpoints, no? Not necessarily in the boundaries. It's up to them wherever they want to put the checkpoints, but it's only in the matter of kung sa cargo, checking na wala tayong mga kontrabando dyan sa loob ng mga cargo, but otherwise, free-flowing naman yung cargo.
Phone-in question lang po ulit. From Rose Novenario. Sir, paano po magpoproseso ng sweldo ang sweldo ng mga manggagawa sa gobyerno kung sarado ang ilang branches ng Land Bank gaya ng Solano branch sa Malacañang complex?
Well, we leave it up to the banks, no, on how they will continue to operate. Pero ina-emphasize natin na importante na the banks would remain open. So these are details that bank companies will have to iron out among themselves.
For Dole naman po, sir, sabi dito, paas naman kay Sec Bello, paano yung mga companies na ayaw pa rin pumayag na mag-a-absent mga employees nila kahit hirap na employees pumasok? Pwede ba sila isumbong at kanino pwedeng magsumbong?
Thank you. Actually, kung ayaw payagan ng mga employers na hindi pumasok yung mga manggagawa, pwedeng hindi pumasok yung manggagawa. They do not have to report if they don't want to report. Or, since they're under enhanced community quarantine, then they really cannot report. And they will be excused. There will be no basis for them to be disciplined.
Kanino daw po sila, sir, pwede kayang magsumbong?
Sa dole. Oo. Saka kahit hindi sila magre-report, pwede nilang i-charge yung kanilang absence either sa mga leave credits sila kung meron pa. Ngayon, kung wala, dole na ngayon ang mananagot sa kanila.
Opo. From Angel Ronquillo naman po, for PNP, sir, totoo po ba yung nagsisirculate na memo online sa PNP na nagsasabing padaanin na lahat ng taong na stranded sa mga borders para makauwi na dahil pagpatak ng 12 midnight mamaya ay total lockdown na?
No, not true, no. But basically, ang intention naman natin is home quarantine. So we would like to allow everybody na makauwi, no. And then from there, again, we, as a general rule, we encourage everybody to stay home.
And sir, well, kay Cabsec siguro, another memo for confirmation, may nagsisirculate din daw po online na all expressway, NLEX, SLEX, Cavitex will put barricades starting 12 midnight tonight to prevent vehicles from coming in and going
Fake
out
news.
of Metro Manila.
Hindi po totoo. It's not true.
Okay, next, Manny Vargas of DCWB.
Sir, good evening po. Sir, yung issue po na concern po ng mga frontliners, especially mga medical professionals and even po ng mga border patrols ng PNP, yung PPE, meron pong report na meron nga pong nabibitin sa Bureau of Customs. May update na po ba tayo doon? And then din yung supply rin, sir, na parating. Marami po yung nagtatanong kanina umaga. May mga kausap din po akong mga PNP personnel na concerned
Stop shop.
doon sa face mask, supply na alcohol na nasagot na ni PNP chief. And then yung thermometers po sa mga checkpoints kasi ang reklamo nga po ng iba is isa or dalawa lang ang gumagana or ginagamit ng mga thermometers.
Gusto mo sagutin, Art? Yung sa... anong
Unahin
first,
mo natin, sir,
first
yung
question?
sa BOC po, PPE, sir.
Yung sa customs naman, basta sabi namin, yung cargoes will have to be unhampered. And when we say na cargoes are unhampered, even mula dun sa pagpasok sa port hanggang sa paglabas ng port, dapat free-flowing po yung mga cargoes natin. So, kung ano yung mga kailangan natin gawing mga hakbang para mapabilis ang paglabas ng mga cargoes, lalong-lalo na mula sa mga ports natin, kailangan natin gawin. So, kung may problema po dun sa Bureau of Customs or kung saan man nagkakaroon ng bottleneck, then kailangan natin i-address po yan.
Kasi sir, yun po yung primary concern po. Pinapadaan na po sa social media ng mga frontliners yung paghingi na ng tulong. Kasi kailangan nila yung, at the very least, yung gloves and yung face mask. And then yung kay PNP chief naman po, yung sa body thermometers na lang reklamo nga po, marami yung nabibitin sa pagpasok, sa pagdaan po sa mga checkpoints because isa or dalawa lang yung thermometer. And then kapag inabot na sila ng init ng araw, tumataas na yung body temperature. Kaya nagtatagal pa sila lalo dahil kinakailangan pang magpababa ng body temperature ng iba po sa mga kababayan nating inaabot.
Okay. If I can, ano lang. Kanina actually, lumabas lang si Kabsec kanina. But nag-present din si Secretary Duque nung mga parating ng mga PPE. He was mentioning something like some are 2,000
Kasi sir, yun
pieces
po
of
yung
a
primary
particular
concern po.
type. Hindi ko lang nilista, and some are beyond 5,000. Then tomorrow, meron daw 15,000 to be delivered, mga face mask sa PNP Logistics sa Krame. So may mga parating naman po, and I understand from the private sector, just today, may mga sabi na nag-declare ng mga kanilang mga donations din. And of course, yung government, again, meron naman silang preposition din na budget for DOH to acquire all this PPE. So these are on the way na. Talagang nagkaroon shortage talaga worldwide ng mga PPE. But now, dahil may mga gumagaling na sa China, nawawala yung problema, then dumadami nila uli yung supply galing sa mga iba-ibang bansa.
Sir, pahabol niyo po yung sa Social Amelioration Program na nabanggit po ninyo na bubuo ng isang technical working group, technical group para po dito. Ano po yung nakapaloob dun sa programa na yon? Kailan po ito mai-implement? At kasi po, kung kasama po rito yung mga daily wage workers o yung mga informal workers, isa po kasi sa katwiran nila is kaya sila lumalabas at patuloy nagtatrabaho. It's between daw po the devil and the deep blue sea. Either itong COVID-19 o yung uncertainty na sila ay magugutom for a very long time na wala silang nakikitang may tulong na darating talaga visibly po.
Kaya nga ibubuo na yung technical working group para pag-usapan ano yung mga nakapaloob dun sa ating social amelioration package, no, o pagtulong natin sa ating mga kababayan na nahihirapan na, lalo na yung mga daily wage earners natin at yung mga marginalized natin, no. So kaya pag-uusapan kung ano yung nakapaloob doon, pero yung pinaka frontline talaga natin dito is the LGUs, no. So based dun sa pag-tap nila sa kanilang quick response fund, kaya tayo nasa state of calamity para makatap sila sa quick response fund nila. So parang ang pag-operationalize natin ito is it's as if their own LGU is in a state of calamity and therefore sila yung first responders. Kung anong mabibigay nilang food assistance sa kanilang mga constituents ay dapat nilang gawin, no? Just like in any calamity that hits their respective locality. Tapos sila yung mag-set up ng pag-identify kung sino yung qualified na tutulungan. Siyempre kung sino yung mga impoverished, sino yung mga marginalized, yun ang unahin nila at yun ang isa-set up nila. Tapos from there on, i-augment na lang po yung efforts nila through the national government, primarily ang DSWD. Pero over and above that, ang Department of Labor and Employment ay meron din po silang isasagawa na programa kung saan makakapagbigay din po sila ng tulong sa mga both formal and informal workers. So, ibigay ko siguro kay Secretary Bello for the details.
Yeah. Tungkol doon sa informal workers, kaibigan, we also have a program for them which is called the TUPAD, yung nabanggit ni Kapsec kanina, that is the Emergency Employment Program. Pag ikaw isang informal worker, nagbebenta ka ng mangga, o nagbebenta ka ng gulay, o kaya nagtra-tricycle ka at mawalan ka ng trabaho dahil dito sa enhanced community quarantine, bibigyan ka namin ng trabaho. This is good for maybe between 10 to 20 days, no? Pero ang trabaho na ibibigay namin sa kayo ay yung to disinfect. Unang-una yung bahay mo, pangalawa yung kapitbahay mo, at saka yung mga daan na madadaanan mo pag ikay umuwi at pumupunta sa trabaho mo. ito ang trabaho na bibigay namin sa mga informal workers. We also offer the same program sa mga formal workers, and we pay them the minimum wage. Iyon ang aming maibibigay na programa para sa ating mga manggagawa, both the formal and informal workers.
Okay, sir. Phone-in question ulit from Reuters naman po. Just to reiterate, the capital markets are asking the IATF for exemptive relief allowing their employees to work and reopen the financial markets. Has the IATF granted this request?
Yes, like I already mentioned, item number 5, no? Capital markets, including but not limited to the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, Security and Exchange Commission, Philippine Stock Exchange, Philippine Dealing and Exchange Corporation, Philippine Securities Settlement Corporation, and the Philippine Depository and Trust Corporation shall be allowed to operate effective March 18, 2020, subject to skeletal workforce.
Another question from Reuters, sir. There were 215 Filipino Muslims who attended the Tabligh in Malaysia, I don't know if I pronounce it correctly, on February 29. Experts have tagged this as an event wherein coronavirus spread across Southeast Asia. What has the Philippine government done to trace the Muslim Filipinos? Are they confined already? Have they turned themselves in for checkups and quarantine?
Napag-usapan namin to sa IATF. So meron na po tayo mga binigay na taskings sa iba't ibang mga members natin sa IATF to do the monitoring tungkol po dyan. Pero na-bring up po yan at napag-usapan na po namin.
From Malaya naman, sir, question, pina-force out ba lahat ng tourists at foreigners from Philippines or Luzon? Paano yung hindi makakalabas within 72 hours? Kanina.
Nandun na po our new guidelines na po. Nakapaloob na po sa guidelines natin na yung ating mga foreign nationals leaving for abroad through any of the ports in Luzon shall be allowed to leave the Philippines at any time for the duration of the enhanced community quarantine.
Another phone-in question, sir. NUJP, some journalism educators, want government to scrap or rethink requirement for media workers to secure accreditation IDs from PCOOs. Says it may be counterproductive at a time when people need vetted information from the media. Will government do away with the requirement?
In-extend lang po natin. We're not doing away with it, but yung dating 72 hours ay ngayon in-extend na po natin hanggang March 21, 2020.
Okay, sir. Another question. Pasensya na, sir. Ang
Okay
daming
lang.
nating tanong
No
from
problem.
ating mga kasamahan sa media at ating mga kababayan. Are cargo forwarding companies like JRS, LBC, and the like exempted from the quarantine?
Yeah, if they're moving cargo, exempted po yun. At saka sabi nga natin, unhampered. And may siguro i-confirm din natin sa implementer.
Sa enforcers.
Sa enforcer.
Yes, we have agreed na unhampered lahat ng cargos.
Okay, for Secretary Bello, who will process and release travel documents of our OFWs who will do final departure briefing and handover of documents to departing OFWs if placement and recruitment agencies cannot open offices?
They can just go to our POEA. This is the Philippine Overseas Employment Administration. Diyan ipoprocess yung kanilang OEC para sila ay makabiyahe o makalabas. Kung may problema sila, meron kaming 1349 hotline. They can just call us and let us know kung anong problema nila. But ang importante dyan, para makapagbiyahe ka pa sa labas, meron ka dapat verified contract of employment doon sa pupuntahan mo. With that, POEA will give you an OEC, which is the Overseas Employment Certificate. With that, you can go to your place of destination.
Okay. And sir, may nagtatanong naman din po from Business World. Paano po ang, just to reiterate din sir, paano po ang transport mode for other exempted entities? Merong transport for health and allied personnel. Paano po ang media?
Media?
I think sir, ito yung mga papasok kahit hindi lang on-cam, bali yung mga iba pang part ng media siguro sir na walang masakyan po?
Well, if the question is, will they be able to travel, meaning to say hindi sila harangin sa mga checkpoints,
yung
Um,
company provided.
oo, okay naman po yun. Napag-usapan na namin sa task force with our law enforcers, no? Pag ang pinag-uusapan is paano yung means of transportation nila, ay kami po ay nakikiusap sa mga iba't ibang mga media companies kung saan po sila nagtatrabaho na um, maghanap po ng way or paraan kung paano ma-set up yung pag paghatid sundo or pag-transport ng mga media workers po ninyo.
For Dole naman, sir, magpapatupad daw po ba ng mandatory hazard pay para sa lahat ng pumapasok sa trabaho like health and media workers?
Sa ngayon, wala pang ganun plano dahil siyempre, kailangan din tingnan natin ang kalagayan ng ating mga employers. What is important here is that they will not be displaced because of the enhanced community quarantine.
Opo. And sir, another follow-up lang po. If kaya, ano raw po ang tulong natin sa mga vendors o yung mga naglalako lang po ng paninda sa kalsada o yung mga maliliit nating vendors?
Yun yung nabanggit ko kanina na tulong namin sa mga informal workers. Dito mga sidewalk vendors, ito yung mga tinatawag naming informal workers. And we also have a program for them, and that is the emergency employment program. We will give them some work to do, and we pay them the minimum wage.
On that one, if I may add, si DTI din nag-allocate ng 1 billion peso funding para dun sa programa po ni Presidente Duterte, yung Pondo sa Pagbabago at Pag-asenso. P3 program kung saan no collateral, low interest rate, 0.5% lang per month. Tsaka ito po ay madaling ibigay doon sa mga affected ng COVID-19. Kasama ho ito sa program ng P3, specific para dito sa COVID-19.
Okay, sir, may nagtatanong naman po for Dole pa rin. Just to clarify, the employer will submit the establishment report and the amount will be deposited directly to the employee's payroll account. What if the employee has no payroll account?
We will see to it that the employee will be paid by the employer. Kasi yan ay subsidy namin sa employer. So, titiyakin namin na yung ibinigay namin pera para sa manggagawa ay aabot sa kanya.
Okay, sir, marami pong tanong para sa Dole.
Okay lang.
Another question, sir. After applying the remaining leave credits of employee, if any, the Dole will subsidize the employees on no work, no pay, regardless of status, or is it just one-time 5,000 peso?
Depende yan. Depende kung ang circumstances of the work. But basically, we'll give them a 10-day work. But it could extend up to 30 days. Depende sa yung nature ng trabaho na ibibigay namin. Ang mahalaga, mabigyan sa ng trabaho.
And sir, tama raw po ba? Is it correct that an employer will use a worker's 15 days vacation leave and 15 days sick leave for this 30-day quarantine?
Nasa kanya, nasa employer yan. But ang ating mga manggagawa, they have leave credits. May sick leave, may vacation leave, meron nga maternity leave eh. Now, ngayon, kung halimbawa, yung employer will require the employee to undergo yung 14-day quarantine, and unfortunately, the worker does not have any more leave credits, ang mangyayari dito, kami ang Dole magsasakripisyo. We will subsidize the employer by paying yung 14-day leave ng worker. Ang subsidy para sa employer this time, dahil dapat employer magpasweldo, dahil siya nagpilit na ma-quarantine yung manggagawa. Pero dahil sa siyempre malulugi din yung employer, Dole will subsidize the employer.
Okay. And for Cabsec Nograles naman, from Ms. Vance Fernandez, with the recent announcements of basic service providers, one more essential service is in the question. How about the telecommunication companies? Has the government encouraged Globe and Smart and various other internet service providers to offer free or discounted service to its customers due to the fact that the enhanced community quarantine has everyone inside of their homes? How will they remain connected and updated online and be able to communicate through text and calls?
Push payment, pwede.
Hindi natin pwedeng no.
Oo, nag-announce na yung mga ibang ng push payment eh.
Oo. Kusang loob na sila yatang nagbibigay ng Pero we can only do moral suasion sa kanila.
Ang pwede nating itulong, if I may, ang pwede natin itulong doon sa mga lessor, pakiusapan natin na i-waive yung rental nung mga, let's say, napilitang isara because of a government directive na isara. So, yun ang itutulong natin na relief from or waiving of the rental fees for 1 month kung kailan pinwersa nating isara yung mga negosyo na umuupa sa kanila. Yun kasi involved ang gobyerno doon. And then, ang central bank po nakikipag-arrange din sa bangko at again, making arrangement para maitulak din, ma-postpone ang payment of amortization o kaya pag-discount sa mga interest or waiving some fees.
Okay.
Idagdag lang ako dyan, no? Dahil alam mo, hindi ito sa pilitan, ito appeal sa mga big business, kagaya halimbawa yung Shoemart, yung Robinson, Ayala Malls, San Miguel, malalaking korporasyon yan. And kapag nawalan ng trabaho, dahil magbabawas ng trabaho yung mga employer dahil masamang negosyo. At the same time, yung mga workers natin nasa enhanced community quarantine. Makikiusap kami dito sa mga big business na ito na kumari doon sa 1 month na absence ng kanilang manggagawa or employee, sana naman out of Christian charity, sila nang magbayad muna. Bayaran nila kahit na absent. Yun, pakiusap lang. Kagaya rin yung pakiusap din namin na kung maaari yung 13-month pay, i-advance na nila. Bagamat alam naman natin na yung 13-month pay is due on or before December 25, hindi po ba? But makikiusap din tayo sa kanila. Kung maaari, i-advance yun na. Total, babayaran nyo rin kung maaari lang. Pero hindi namin pwedeng pilitin.
Opo. Sir, isa pang patanong. Maybe someone can ask if retailers, suppliers who sell pet food or supplies are also mandated to stay in operation.
Pet food, hindi namin napag-usapan. Hindi namin pet food.
And another, sir, may we ask if makarating sa Malacañang kung may guidelines or exemption sa cooperative sector like credit sectors po. Other cooperative is under a credit type and a financial institution din po.
Hindi rin hindi kami umabot pa doon sa usapan na yun. We will study that. If I may mention din pala, kasi tinatanong ninyo yung mga tulong din sa mga affected sectors. Actually, kahapon or kanina, naglabas ng announcement yung Economic Development Cluster headed by Secretary Carlos Dominguez, nung economic package para dito sa COVID-19 pandemic. At kanina po ay in-announce yung 27.1 billion package of priority actions to help frontliners fight the 2019 COVID. At ito po ay mabilis ko lang i-outline. Example po ay 2 billion peso representing the initial budget set by the DOLE, mobilization of an existing 1.2 billion pesos sa SSS to cover unemployment benefits for dislocated workers, ang TESDA scholarship programs amounting to 3 billion, various programs ng Department of Tourism amounting to 14 billion, from the TIEZA, yung Tourism Infrastructure and Enterprise Zone Authority, yung 2.8 billion pesos for the Survival and Recovery Sure Aid program of the Department of Agriculture, and 1 billion allotted by DTI. Ito po yung P3 para sa pautang sa mga SMEs. At meron pang mga loan program mula sa GSIS, mobilization funds in GOCCs, yung government-owned and controlled corporations. DBP, meron ding support doon, Land Bank, at ang Central Bank, yung mga nabanggit nating possible intervention ng Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas.
Okay, thanks, sir. Back to MPC members, Tina Mendez again.
Sir, sa pag-tap ng quick response funds, kasi even even kanina, yung mga barangay officials, meron silang natatap na calamity funds, pero kulang rin ang supply na makukuha nila, like yung mga disinfectant. Ngayon, with your announcement, pati ang mga pagkain, mga basic necessities na pwedeng ibigay sa mahihirap, paano masisigurado na makakakuha ang local government ng tamang supply para sa constituents nila?
What do you mean by may mapagbilhan sila?
Saan sila kukuha ng tamang supply? Kasi sabay-sabay yan kukuha ng mga supplies nila, sir, di ba? Para madala sa mga barangay.
Siguro yung nangyari kanina dun sa aming meeting with the NCR mayors, napag-usapan with Secretary Bautista ng DSWD yung pakikipag-ugnayan. Importante yung pakikipag-ugnayan ng mga LGUs with DSWD. So isa-isahin ng DSWD yan, yung iba't ibang mga mayors sa mga pangangailangan nila. Ngayon, meron naman mga food packs na na-ready na ang DSWD. So, in terms of purchasing those, yung laman ng food packs, kung meron po tayong mga LGUs na nahirapan sa pag-purchase, pwedeng unahin na ni Secretary Bautista kung anong meron stock niya. Para, if it comes to that, no, na kung ang situation is may calamity funds ka nga pero wala kang mabibilhan na dahil kulang ang supplies, no. So ay yung assurance lang po natin na naka-preposition na po yung mga stocks ng DSWD.
So, ang procurement will just be from the national government, DSWD. Ang local government cannot?
No, they can.
Simultaneous?
Yeah, simultaneous.
How about the mga policy on public bidding? Will it be lifted?
Based
COA
dun
rules?
sa gagamitin mo yung rules on procurement pagdating sa calamity. Alam na ng mga LGUs yan. Emergency procurement yan.
Sir, number 2 on the yung suspension within the day nung Philippine Stock Exchange and other related. Anong bang nangyari? Was there a miscommunication or there was an overlook with sa government? Bakit bigla tayong nag-shutdown? I think this is the first, Philippines daw is the first country nagkaroon ng shutdown.
Siguro ang treatment natin ito, parang kung tinatamaan tayo ng bagyo, di ba? Shutdown lahat.
Calamity lang.
Nagkaroon ng calamity. Pag tinamaan ng malaking bagyo, hindi naman unusual na nag-shutdown yung PSE dahil sa malaking calamity na dumaan sa, sabihin natin, sa Metro Manila. So parang ganun ang nangyari. So there was a one-day shutdown, but tomorrow, babalik naman sila. Just like in a calamity that happens in Metro Manila. May dadaan na bagyo, shutdown ng PSE, but the next day, back to operations na po.
May phone-in question dito.
Huwag ka na.
Hindi, may nagtanong lang tungkol doon sa nabanggit din dito yung BPO tsaka yung exporters. Kasi just like other companies, ina-encourage natin para hindi na bumiyahe at less movement na ng tao, na i-house na yung mga tao doon sa kanilang mga factory para hindi na, lalo na kung malayo nakatira at no public transportation. So ito po ang nakita nating solusyon sa mga negosyo na pwede pa sila mag-operate tulad ng mga food manufacturing, pati na rin yung mga exporters. So hindi yung BPO pwedeng dun din tumira within or near their facility. Yung mga exporters, ganun din within or near their facilities. Yung walking distance lang para hindi nadadaan sa checkpoint. Nakatira na sila sa vicinity. Yun po yung nililinaw lang natin kasi tinatanong nila kung pwede ring work from, hindi naman pwedeng work from home yung exporter. Parang talagang kailangan nandoon para doon na sila titira.
Another question from Joyce Balancho.
Sir, from sa Dole po. Particularly on PUV drivers, kasi sila yung pinakamaraming apela kanina. So, sakop din po sila ng TUPAD program.
Kasama rin po, kasama.
Okay,
Lahat ng mga workers, merong formal, merong informal. Yung formal, parehas ng trato namin sa kanila, bibigyan namin sila ng trabaho, kagaya ng mga informal.
Paano po yung magiging proseso, sir? Pwede ba sila ma-employ within the day? Kasi alam po natin marami sa mga kapamilya natin ganun yung kahit isang tuka.
Mabilis lang yan, mabilis lang yan. All they have to do is go to the barangay officials, and the barangay official will submit their name to us. We will include them in the list of beneficiaries, and then we let them work. Trabaho sila ng 10 days, trabaho sila ng 20 days or 30 days, and then we pay them the minimum wage.
So within the day, yung processing po?
Madali lang po, madali lang po. Kasi sanay na yung mga barangay officials dyan dahil itong programa namin ito, every year we do it. Almost every 3 months nagkaano kami. You remember mo yung yung the closure of Boracay? Oh, when Boracay was closed for 6 months, all the restaurant workers and the hotel workers were displaced. Wala silang trabaho dahil nawala ang operation eh. So what did we do? We gave them work for 6 months. All of them, yung nagbebenta ng barbecue doon, yung waiter sa isang hotel o yung isang restaurant, we gave them work for 6 months. Malaking amount yun, but fortunately, the President was very generous. Binigyan kami sa kanilang AMP, yung Adjustment Measures Program. So nabayaran namin yun. Yun ang gagawin namin doon sa madi-displace ngayon.
So hindi naman po sila maghihintay na matagal kasi most of them po nagsasabi kahit isang tuka, kumbaga kung nakikitain nila ngayon, yan ang pangkakain nila kinabukasan. So they will be guaranteed employment immediately.
In 10 days, if they're working for 10 days, we pay them for 10 days.
Okay. And then to PNP Chief, may clarification lang po kasi meron daw pong nahaharang pa sa San Juan, bandang 9:32, nag-present naman po ng media ID pero hindi na daw po pinapasok. Uniform po ba yung orders natin pagdating sa checkpoints, pagdating sa ganito?
Yes, we will check on that, no, because ang guidance namin sa aming lower units is the different media people can use their company IDs and this would suffice for them to pass checkpoints. Unless, yun nga, baka may misinterpretation doon sa local government units, no, who might be imposing a different thing. But the intention really of the interagency is to have a uniform implementation of these things. But I will personally check on that.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, another phone-in question lang po bago si Kuya Manny. For PNP Chief Gamboa, sir, mukhang hindi pa rin daw naghihigpit sa ilang residente yung mga lumalabas kasama pa ang mga anak sa ginagawang panic buying. Hindi po na-implement ang 1 member per family na papayagang lumabas. San po kaya ang problema rito, sa barangay o sa mga polis?
Yes, sa pulis naman, klaro yon, no? But hindi naman lahat ng lugar may pulis, no? But kung sa harapan ng pulis nangyayari ito, then there's something wrong. But again, now we will remind our policemen to implement this.
Okay. Manny Vargas again of DCWB.
Sir, good evening ulit kay Secretary Bello, sir. Sir, may nag-message lang po ng mga kababayan tayo. For example po, isa pong residente ng Rizal, sabi po niya, wala na raw pong trabaho yung asawa niya because of this quarantine. At problema nila, yung pang-upa ng bahay at panggastos sa pagkain. Paano raw sila, sir, makakapag-avail doon sa TUPAD program ngayon daw po na sila ay naka-home quarantine?
Nasaan ba siya?
Hindi ko sure, sir, kung Marikina or Rizal po yung residence nila.
Ibigay lang ang pangalan niya sa kayo address niya. Ang ibibigay namin trabaho sa kanya ay yung mismong pag-disinfect sa bahay niya. Oo, so hindi siya kailangan lumabas. Ayusin niya yung bahay niya. Pagkatapos, with the instruction or the guidance of the barangay official, i-disinfect niya rin yung bahay, yung mga kalye. At kung mayroong malapit na eskwelahan, i-disinfect niya rin yun. At hindi lang siya mag-isa, may kasama rin siya, pero i-observe na rin pa rin yung social distance.
Opa, sir. Tapos, sir, may nagtatanong lang po, dun po sa mga health professionals, included ba daw po ang mga veterinarians, lalo na raw po yung mga nasa animal hospitals, kasi may mga pasyente silang mga hayop na hindi nila pwedeng iwanan.
Pagpaumanhin po ninyo, hindi namin napag-usapan yan. Siguro I'll bring that up sa next task force meeting.
Kasi sir, may yun nga raw po, may mga animal hospitals pala na nandun po yung mga alagang aso or kung ano pang pusa na basically on medication. So, yun din po yung concern, pinaabot. And then sir, may nagtatanong din po, pwede raw ba sir i-apply po sa GSIS or SSS ng calamity loan? Ito pong pagkakaroon natin ng
Palagay ko kasi nag-state of calamity na tayo eh. And that's the reason why we're declaring a state of calamity para yung options under the state of calamity can be utilized or magagamit na po. So, palagay ko, GSIS or SSS loans for calamity, maaari na po yan.
kay PNP Chief naman po, sir. Marami pong tanong na pinapaabot sa inyo. Sir, pa-expound naman daw po ano yung magyayaring changes sa mga checkpoints natin starting maybe today. Kasi doon sa first 2 days po natin, yung general quarantine natin, and then nag-enhance tayo, at pareho pong talagang nagkaroon ng mahabang pila, nagkagulatan. Ngayon po ba sir, magkakaroon ng marked changes na mas mapapabilis, especially pag dumating na po yung mga kailangang gamit ng mga tauhan po na nagbabantay?
Yeah, during the time that we were conducting the interagency meeting, dahan-dahan kong tinitext yung aking director for operations. With the end view, sabi ko, na mag-devise tayo ng system which would make our checkpoints more easy, no? And one of the suggestion is that when you pass through a checkpoint from one region, then countersigns may be provided for you to pass to subsequent regions until you reach another region of destination in Manila. But these are only one of the things, no? But of course, with the promulgation now of resolution number 13, there will be changes on the part of the PNP to adjust our guidance on our men on the field.
Sir, isa po, kasi may isa pong nag-text, sir, na isa pong kasama namin, ang concern naman niya, paano raw po mapupunta sa unahan yung pong mga kababayan natin na dapat mabigyan ng priority. For example, yung mga health professionals na maaring nasa dulo po ng pila sa checkpoint na kinakailangan mauna sila. Meron po bang mga magagawa para mapalusot po?
Okay,
Is it feasible?
Ganito ang general impression ng Philippine National Police, no? Those who pass through the checkpoints are actually all those who are exempted. So if you provide special lane, you provide special lane for everybody because everybody who passes through are exempted. No? So napag-usapan yan kanina, and I think in unison yung interagency that we will just make the flow faster, but hindi namin pa napag-isipan kung ano yung dapat bigyan ng special lanes.
Sir, finally po, para po sa inyo, again, isa pong text message ang kasama. Paano raw po yung treatment doon sa magiging kababayan natin na mag-i-insist pa rin despite the fact na hindi sila exempted at magkakaroon po ng hindi kinakailangang incident dahil sa pagpupumilit nila na makapunta sa kung saan man?
Well, the Department of Justice through the Secretary already expounded on that last night, that there are 2 bases for us to make the arrest. So sana naman, wag nilang subukan ang PNP because we have 2 laws of which we can base, no? Yung disobedience under the revised penal code and non-cooperation under Republic Act 11332. Pero sana naman, wag na natin paabutin sa ganon.
Tapos, sir, panghuli na lang po, sir, pasensya na, may mga pahabol na tanong. Sir, paano naman daw po ito sa mga working na pregnant women? Eto na, kasi alam naman natin kailangan din. Pero, ang sabi po niya is, if we opt not to go to work dahil high risk kami, may bibigay bang assistance ang DOLE sa amin? Baka wala na kaming trabaho pagbalik. Sa United Kingdom daw kasi, they told pregnant women to stay indoors for 3 months possible kaya daw po maging ganun dito?
Hindi, alam mo naman na we are under yung enhanced community quarantine. Kaya hindi ka dapat lumabas. No? So, may excuse ka na hindi lumabas. Ngayon, ang problema mo yung trabaho. So, yun, we will give you work. If you are an employer, regular employer, we'll give you work as a regular employer. Or if you are an informal worker, we will also give you work. Yung ganun pa rin, yung napili namin kasi magandang trabaho, yung magdi-disinfect. Sarili mong bahay ang i-disinfect mo, and then we pay you for disinfecting your house.
Sir, panghuli na lang po talaga. Sa kasama ko po kay Tuesday New, ang question is paano raw po pupunta or mag-aasikaso po ng yung aalis na OFW at kailangan nilang pumunta sa POEA para po sa pag-aayos ng documentation or sa OWA or yung papunta ng airport na wala naman pong masasakyan, public transportation lang inaasahan. Paano daw po sila, ano yung arrangement for them? Meron bang magagawang sasakyan na they could go to this certain place and then maring maihatid sila sa airport?
Napag-usapan namin yan, kaya nga kasama dito sa guidelines na ito ay maaring tulungan sila ng OWA pag OFW.
Makikipag-ugnayan po sila sa OWA?
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Opo.
Okay, sir. Mga pahabol na tanong lang po natin. From Rosalie Cos, paano kaya ang mga security guards na kailangan mag-duty to secure the property, mga frontliners to consider sa mga establishments, may exemption kaya rin daw po sila?
Ay, opo. Dun sa first guidelines kahapon, kagabi, na inilabas po natin yung security personnel po ay kasama sa exemptions. Security kasi kailangan bantayan yung mga establishments.
Sir, from Shinwa naman, DOTR announced today that all airports in Luzon will be shut down after 72 hours. Is this true? Or
Wala
yun
na.
nga
Meron na po tayong bagong guidelines. So, ano na po, pwede na pong bumiyahe sa foreign countries ang OFWs, ang balikbayans at foreigners.
Okay. For DTI lang, sir, many have experienced out of stocks and unavailability of essential goods beyond food, like hygiene and cleaning products in stores. What are the plans to ensure factories replenish this if they can't produce?
Ganito, kaya ho very important that we made arrangement na yung cargos will be allowed para nga ma-replenish talaga precisely yung mga shelves na uubusan because of the requirements ng ating mga kababayan. So there's a clear agreement there. Kung hindi makaproduce yung mga ibang factory dahil kulang yung tao, hindi nakarating, we rely on existing inventories. And we're hoping that with so many manufacturers ng mga ganyang produkto, na meron pa rin silang inventaryo at madideliveran yung mga supermarkets. And that can be assured na huwag silang magpanik at may magsusupply pa rin ng mga alcohol requirements nila.
Okay. Last three phone-in questions po. From Associated Press, initially foreign nationals and tourists were given 72 hours to fly out of Luzon airports. Now the period when they can leave was changed to anytime during the enhanced community quarantine period. Can you please explain the reason for the change?
Napag-usapan namin na syempre yung first of all yung sa OFWs, no? So mga kababayan natin na kailangan magtrabaho abroad at meron naman silang mga kontrata abroad, no? Then yung balikbayans, pinag-usapan namin ay yung balikbayan na kailangan nandito sila pero di ba? Kailangan nila bumalik kung saan sila galing, no? Sa mga bansa kung saan sila where they came from, no? Tapos and then then unti-unti na pag-usapan pati yung mga foreign nationals. So dahil ayaw natin bigyan ng kumbaga pressure silang lahat dahil mas mahirap, no, para sa kanila ay inopen up na po natin. Wala nang date, wala na yung 72 hours, no. Pero syempre ang ating panawagan ay ito yung mga kababayan natin o balikbayan o OFWs ay may sadya po dun sa ibang bansa. So, hindi namin sinasabi na yung ibang mga Pilipino na ang sadya lang ay maging turista sa ibang bansa ay wag na po.
And for DTI, sir, our companies engage in manufacturing but export only some of its output, allowed to operate partially to meet export commitments.
Yes, example yun kanina that we were suggesting if it's really important to finish up certain hanging commitments right now, they can allow their workers yung skeletal force lang to come in para matapos yung mga commitments nila. And the suggestion is for them to keep the employees there already. I-house na nila sa inside or right outside para hindi na less movement na dun sa mga empleyado po nila.
Okay. And last, sir, ask from Inquirer, ask ko lang po sana kung bakit pa rin po may checkpoints along NCR if Luzon-wide na po ang quarantine. And then second, are LGUs given the authority to supersede the guidelines about public transport as what Vico Soto did for Pasig to augment transport options for frontliners?
Kasama ito sa pinag-usapan namin during the meeting with the Metro Manila mayors, no, na initiated by the MMDA. At ang pakiusap po natin is tayo pong lahat ay magtulungan, mag-cooperate po tayong lahat. At pag sinabi ng task force na no, kaya natin ginawa itong state of calamity, yung enhanced community quarantine ay para pantay-pantay po ang lahat ng mga LGUs at pantay-pantay po ang lahat ng mga nasa Luzon. No, we operate under a common set of rules, kumbaga. So walang lamangan dito. Para lahat po mag-cooperate, lahat po pantay-pantay. So yung exemptions lang. Yung hindi pwede, hindi po pwede. Dahil may ano yun may pinanggagalingan yan, may rason po ang lahat ng yan. Hindi namin ini-impose ito dahil gusto lang namin, no? Ini-impose natin ito para sa proteksyon at kaligtasan ng bawat isa. No? So, let's just follow the what the guidelines are. So, please do not supersede. At mag-cooperate naman. Okay naman mga mayors, wala namang problema. So, nagkaintindihan naman.
Okay, last 3 questions lang po from our MPC reporters here. Joyce Balancio.
Sir, pinapatanong lang po. Kasi diba meron tayong order na pwedeng lumabas papuntang grocery, supermarkets, drugstores. Would you confirm if ang Mandaluyong po ay naglabas ng order na kailangan may pass or permit pa for their residents? Wala pong ganon.
Not within my knowledge.
Okay, so hindi po dapat. Okay, sige po.
And then may nagpapatanong po, meron po bang tulong na ibibigay para sa mga stranded sa ports? I think may mga gusto po atang tumawid from Sorsogon and pupunta ng Manila and then stranded daw po, naabutan na sila ng enhanced community quarantine.
Tao or cargo?
Tao po.
Hindi yata bawal lang ang tumawid, di ba? Oo.
Bawal pumasok.
Sino po dapat ang tumulong na lang sa kanila pag gano'n,
Siguro
pag stranded?
bumalik na lang sila, tulungan sila, makabalik.
And another phone-in question po, yung sa utility, pagbayad po sa mga utilities like sa water and Meralco, meron na silang extension. How about bank credits, monthly amortization, and car loans?
Yun ang siguro dito na po papasok yung BSP at ang pagkikipag-ugnayan ng BSP with the different banks. So we will coordinate with BSP or BSP and the economic team, siguro mag-usap-usap sila at hintayin natin mga guidelines na ilalabas ng BSP.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, sorry, isang singit question lang po. Can patients undergoing regular treatment like dialysis avail ng P2P service
P2P service
ng
point to
DOTR
point.
LGU since there's no public transport?
Well, if may tulong ang LGU, so much the better, no? Alam naman namin na may mga LGUs na merong mga sasakyan na regularly ginagamit naman nila para sa kanilang mga pasyente. So hindi naman pipigilan yan ng ating law enforcers.
Opo, and for Sec Bello, may commitment na ba ang major companies that they would also provide financial assistance on top of the 5K that Dolly will be giving out?
We met with the employers group immediately after yung itong COVID-19 problem, no? And very open ang mga employers about helping their workers. One of them is even talking about yung telecommuting, yung work from home. Pinag-usapan nila yon, at saka yung mga flexi work arrangement, pinag-usapan din nila para hindi mabigatan yung mga, instead of losing your work for 1 month, i-reduce lang nila, halimbawa instead of 5 times a week, gagawin nila 3 times a week o 4 times a week. Para bagamat nahihirapan ng employer, hindi ka mawawala ng trabaho. Sa mga tuwid, very open ang employers. And in fairness with the employers, very open sila tumulong sa ating mga manggagawa.
Okay, last two questions na talaga from Tina Mendez again.
Sir, kahit this early, marami na, yung mga hospitals natin, medyo marami na silang patient ng PUI, tapos mga COVID positive. Na-discuss raw ba kung meron ng identified areas na i-convert na isolated na hospitals kung talagang dumating tayo sa worst case scenario?
I think na itanong po yan in principle kay Secretary Duque kagabi, no? So sabi nga niya, conceptually may wisdom doon, pero operationally medyo hindi madaling gawin. So wala pa po tayo doon. Although, gaya ng binasa ko po, as part of the guidelines, ay bumubuo na po ng mga cluster groups dun sa NDRRMC para sa mga kumbaga long-term planning, lahat ng mga gaps na pwedeng pagplanuhan ay pagplanuhan na on a worst case scenario basis. So nagsi-scenario building na po ang NDRRMC. Not that aabot tayo dun, no? But we have to be prepared for any eventuality. So in all aspects, not just the health aspect, tinitingnan na po ng NDRRMC pati mga cluster groups. So yun yung may next steps natin.
For Chief PNP po, there is parang notes circulating na this is reportedly an instruction from Chief NCRPO na there will be a start of a lockdown at 6 a.m. later on. Tapos, ang requirements sa mga exemption ay hanapan ng ID and certificate of work. Ano po ba talaga ang pinaka-instructions?
What you hear from CABSEC is what is prevailing. Baka fake news yan.
Thank you.
And mind you, there are a lot of things going on like that, no? So I suggest they refer it to the authorities.
Once and for all, sir, baka gusto nyong i-address yung troops nyo na naka-assign ngayon sa mga checkpoints and everything, last minute instructions for this, for later on. this
Thank you
morning.
for the opportunity. No, basically, ang pinakamalaking change ngayon is that cargoes will pass through unhampered. No, yun ang pinaka-basic. And then we will be coming up with other guidelines based on the issuance of this new resolution. Pero even if you don't have the appropriate protection, the Philippine National Police is doing its best to protect you. But nevertheless, we're expected to do our mandate. So magtiis-tiis lang, and so much is expected from the PNP. Thank you.
Okay, last na po. Manny Vargas again. Our last question.
Sir, last talaga. Phone-in question again kay Secretary Bello. Sir, pinatatanong po, bakit kasi binura? Pero sir, ang question po niya is basically, yung po bang kumpanya na, sir, yung kumpanya na nag-stop ng operations because of the enhanced community quarantine, ibabawas daw po dun sa leave credits ng mga workers nila yung mga araw na walang pasok because of the quarantine sa ECQ?
Hindi pwede. Hindi pwede yan. Yung leave credits is left to the discretion of the worker kung kailan niya gamitin.
So malinaw po, during the quarantine po, implementation itong ECQ, yung leave credits po, kung ano man yun before the ECQ, implementation ng ECQ, would remain until after. Hindi po mababawasan yan, walang pagbabago.
Wala,
Until sa
hindi
time na
babago.
gamitin or i-avail po ng employee mismo.
Yung leave credits mo, sa iyo yan. So, kung kailan mo gamitin, saka mo lang gagamitin. Nobody can force you to use it if you don't want to use it. Ngayon, yung sinabi ko about yung forced leave because of quarantine, pag pinilit ka ng employer mo na mag-undergo ng 14-day quarantine, tapos wala ka ng leave credits, ang mangyayari dyan, dole na ang mag-subsidize sa employer. Kami na magbabayad doon sa 14-day quarantine period mo.
Thank you po. Thank you, sir.
Super last na daw po from Joyce Balancho. Pasensya na mga sir kasi marami daw talagang tanong ating mga kababayan.
Opo, pinapatanong lang po. Yung operation po ng e-commerce platforms, pwede po ba? Especially for non-essential goods. Kasi diba delivery ay... So for example, pag bibili ng online ng damit,
Magsa-shopping
ipapadeliver.
Oo, pinag-usapan namin yan and naman sa panahon na to, wag na yan. So yung mga magsha-shopping, hindi pwede. Pero yung basic necessities like magpa-deliver ka pagkain, gamot, grocery products, okay lang yan.
Okay. So hindi basic necessity ang clothes.
Hindi na, hindi na.
Thank you, sir.
Ikaw yata yung umorder.
Hindi, sir. Pinapatanong lang.
Okay, any final words, Cabsec Nograles?
Siguro, nakita naman natin yung nangyari kanina, no? And I would, siguro, ang panggagalingan ko nito, yung sinabi nga ni General Archie Gamboa, no? Ang assumption po natin is lalakad ka dahil kasama ka sa exemption. Now, kung hindi ka naman kasama sa exemption, ay wag na pong lumakad. Ang buhay po natin ang nakasalalay dito. Buhay natin, meaning to say buhay mo, buhay ko, buhay namin lahat, buhay ng pamilya mo, buhay ng komunidad. Ang pinaka-maiging pag-control po natin sa virus na ito is stay at home talaga. Kasi pag nasa bahay ka at wala naman ni isa sa inyong infected, 100% walang may infect kung stay at home ka lang. Kaya lagi pa ulit-ulit naming sinasabi, no? Bahay muna, buhay muna. And when in doubt, stay at home.
Okay. Thank you so much mga sir. At yan po ang ating press briefing kaugnay sa COVID-19. Back to People's Television Network and Radyo Pilipinas.